Hello, my name is Josh Grover, and welcome to High Five Church History. So in last week's video, we looked at this very important question, who is Jesus Christ? And a link to that video is going to be posted right above me. But today we're going to ask another important question, can you prove that the Bible is true? Now the reason we're wanting to tackle this is because church history is directly built upon the teachings of Christ and the teachings of the Bible. In other words, you can't separate the two. So how then can you go about proving that the Bible is true? And you can actually do that in several different ways. The method I'm going to use today is actually going to have 3 different steps. Step 1 is going to be, can you prove that the Gospels are true? Step 2 is, if you can prove the Gospels are true, then you can prove that the teachings of Christ are true. And then step 3 is, if you can prove the teachings of Christ are true, then you can prove that the whole Bible is true. Here's how you can prove that the Gospels are true. You look at their genre. The Gospels are historical books. Now, Orthodox Christians certainly see the Gospels as more than historical books, but they're certainly not anything less. Now, as historical books, how do you prove that something in history actually happened? Well, you don't prove it the same way that you would a math equation, like 3 times 4 equals 12. Instead, what you do is you have to look at the evidence. And we even see that in courts of law here in America. And if the evidence is compelling, then the court can accept that this historical event actually happened. But if the evidence isn't compelling, then they deny it. Same question would be like, how can you prove that George Washington was our first president or that Julius Caesar actually existed? And we're going to do the exact same thing with the Gospels. We're going to look at the evidence. In this video today, I want to share 2 pieces of evidence that prove the Gospels are true. And then next week, I'm going to share 3 pieces. So let's go ahead and start with this first one. This first piece of evidence is that the Gospels are unified in their details. The Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, share so many different stories that are the same circumstances. Now, these 4 Gospels, though, weren't written at the same time. There's almost a 40-year span between the writing of the first Gospel and then of the last. So it's not like these guys all got together and said, hey, let's flesh out this fictional story. What you see happening is the harmony of details within these situations, like cleansing of the lepers, or Jesus' death and resurrection, and the stories go on. My point is that the Gospels all talk about the same situations, which means you're going to have a ton of different details. Where did this take place? Who was involved? Why were they involved? In other words, the more details you have, the more likely it is that you will find what is wrong or where witnesses contradict each other. Think about it. If you and, let's say, a sibling got in trouble and mom and dad are coming home, you would say something like, how did we break this vase? Oh, the cat did it. Okay, which cat or which dog? And when did they do it? And why did they do it? See, there's so much details that has to be fleshed out. And the more these details harmonize together, the more likely it is that this event actually occurred. And that's exactly what you see in these 4 Gospels. A second piece of evidence to prove that the Gospels are true is that the Gospels come from eyewitness accounts. Even in today's court system, you're going to see so many eyewitness accounts come to the forefront and why they're so important. The Gospels are the exact same thing. Matthew and John were both followers of Jesus Christ. They were 2 of his 12 disciples. But then you also have got Mark, who is going to write later about Peter's account with Christ, Peter the Apostle. And then you're also going to have Luke, and he takes most of, if not all of his gospel from eyewitness accounts. He even says that within his gospel itself. In other words, all of the Gospels are directly or very, very closely related to eyewitnesses. This is vital to proving that the Gospels are true. Another reason why eyewitness accounts are so important, especially when it comes to the Gospels, is that these eyewitnesses continue to go forth spreading out their message. Now think about it. If they were liars or deceivers trying to fool the whole world, why would you go around when so many people could come to you and question you on this detail and that detail and this one? These eyewitnesses were not ashamed to go out and share what they had to say because they absolutely believed it was true. In fact, most of this got them killed. Think about Matthew. He was killed in northern Africa for his faith. John was exiled to an island by the Roman government because of his faith. You've got Mark later going out as a missionary with the Apostle Paul, sharing this with much of the Mediterranean world. And then you've also got Luke, who is writing his gospel specifically to a man named Theophilus, who was a Roman noble. All of these eyewitnesses were saying, we're not ashamed, we're going to go out, people can question us, we want them to question our eyewitness accounts. That's exactly what you see going on with the Gospels. And that is a sure proof, another sure proof, that the Gospels are true. So in today's video, we looked at two pieces of evidence to prove that the Gospels are true. First was the harmony of details within the Gospels, and second was that the Gospels were given by eyewitness accounts. My question to you is, do you believe that the Gospels are true? Do you believe the Bible is true? If not, what would it take for you to change your mind? Church history is filled with people who have continued to affirm, defend, and live by the fact that the Bible is true. Thank you again for watching this video. I'm going to ask that you'll like it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and please leave your comments below. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you next week as we continue to high-five church history.